Okay, guys, so here's the thing. All the barbers in my neighborhood are on lockdown, and for some weird reasons, I cannot find my clippers. So please bear with me for the art and for the way my beard look like. Maybe it's just one of those challenges you see on social media lately. We've been seeing a lot of social challenge, don't rush, flip the cup here and there. Maybe this is the no shave challenge. Well, apologies, guys. I'll try to do better next time. But hey, welcome to HotSports. This is the longest running independent sports show on Nigerian television, and it delights us to know that even in these very, very dark times, you've been able to still stick, to and with us. We want to again solicit and plead with everyone out there to do well, to stick to the rules, stay safe, stay at home, wash your hands when due, and do well to keep a level of hygiene, so we can beat this coronavirus. Shout out to the NCDC, shout out to the federal government of Nigeria, and shout out to everyone, the frontliners, the doctors, and all. So we'll go for a quick break. When we return, it's time to talk about everything in the world of sports. And guess what? It's still very much very busy, very highly talked about things happening in the world of sports, from the MMA to the Olympics. What is making around? What is hot? What's not? I'll find out all of this and more when we come back after this break. And we are back. This is HotSports. My name is Babajide Guerrero. I am presenting from my residence from the car. It's a social distancing episode of HotSport, like we said. We just cannot, let you be all by yourself and of course be bored. We have to still come to you with the very best of sports conversations. And today I've lined up 4 outstanding sports eggheads. I wanted to say egg robot, that would be me. Eggheads, like I like to call them. Last week we had Mokbel, we had Dario, and of course the beautiful Atinu Keson. Today Atinu Keson makes a return, and she's been joined by 3 other analysts. The Mide, it's good to see Mide back again on the show. Mide Josh, as well as Tony Swimpy, and then we also have a newbie in the house, Jennifer. So all this analysts will be, of course, you see them on your screen already. Hi guys, how you doing? So let's just jump right into it. Let's talk about mixed martial arts, MMA. It's confirmed that the UFC 249 is set to hold in a private island. Dana White is saying, well, you know what, that fight between Gajde and of course who replaced Khabib Nurmagomedov to fight Tony Ferguson, will still hold all in a private island. We've heard that Dana White is not relenting. This fight must still go on, Mide.
You kind of agree with where the president is coming from, because like I said, this pandemic has kind of halted sporting activities in such a way that probably we've never seen before, or at least I have never seen before. So it's kind of new. People are struggling, like how what do we do about this? And so a lot of events are getting pushed, and so he now coming to say it will go on, or it is starting April 18. I think it's a good one. At least we know UFC is we can limit it as far as there are no spectators, so it's just between the team, the two teams, the two people who are fighting, and their team who's gonna be there. So I feel so it's a good one. It's a good one. At least kind of sanity returns. Maybe not sanity really, but at least it's good. It's a good feel to know that sports will be back on our television screen, and by April, like all things being equal. So it's good to see. We'll see how it goes. And alluding to the interview he had, what he said, he was like, okay, because Khalid had left US, and because of flight restrictions, he can't come to the US to for the fight. So the fight will be between 2 Americans who are already in the US. So it's good for them, and he said it will be shown on ESPN. So we'll wait and see how it goes. And he also said he's getting a private island. To see how serious he is about UFC. He's getting a private island where international fighters can come fight. So they don't necessarily have to come to the US because of restrictions. They can just go to that island, and then the fight will go on, and then we will be able to watch at home. So it's a nice development. We see how it goes through, but hopefully I just hope it turns out nice, and then we can get to see best of sports back again, which in the end that's really all we want. So and so for UFC lovers, it's good to know. It's a good development news we just broke, and we'll see how it goes.
So we continue with the news of the Tokyo Olympic Games, and we can confirm that there's a state of emergency in Tokyo, Japan, where Prime Minister Shinzo Abe has come out to say, this is very serious, and then he has declared a state of emergency. And at the moment, it's really, really all looking all doom and gloom at this time. But we can confirm that the Olympics has been shifted, of course, to 2021. Aswin, what do you make of this, the state of emergency in Tokyo?
Yes, the whole COVID-19 situation has ravished everything in the sporting world as you know it, and the Tokyo Games is also not excluded from it. But the Japanese Prime Minister declaring the state of emergency in Japan, I think it's the right move for them, because they're trying to curtail the virus as much as they can. So declaring a state of emergency puts everything on hold, and then try to minimize the means to which the virus spreads in the country. Yes, it has implications on the games, because the equipment, the stadium, the things that are being put in place for these games to happen are going to be stored. Yes, and as we all know, the games have been postponed to 2021. So the lights being taken off, that's the Olympic lights going off, is a sign to show that the games are not happening for now, and then we'll hope that this virus thing goes away on time, so that things will return back to normalcy. And that's what we expect, and that's what we hope, that this happens quickly, so that we all go back to enjoying the sports that we love.
But still sticking to IOC, the president of the IOC, Thomas Bach, has come out to commend the initiative of the Minister for Youth and Sports, Sunday Dare. Is been using a lot of sports icons to raise the level of sensitization of the public. The likes of Kanu Mankwo, the likes of Augustin JG or Kocha, Sheikh Degba, Ahmed Musa. All of them have been, in one way or the other, involved in jingles and campaigns to heighten the level of awareness of the general public, just so that everybody would understand that the COVID-19 fight cuts across everyone. So yeah, big ups to Sunday Dare, big ups to IOC, big ups to, of course, those icons that showed up, and big ups to everyone keeping safe at this time. Of course, we'll go for a quick break, and when we return, it's time to hear from Tinuke and Jennifer. And we are back. What do you make of a player who's been there, done that, former World Footballer of the Year, former World Cup winner, Ronaldinho, recently caught in Paraguay, trying to sneak into Paraguay with fake passport. But hey, he went into that prison and then he did a lot of exploits. Tinuke joins us now for more on this particular issue. What's up with your man, Ronaldinho? Tinuke.
I think Ronaldinho being released from prison, it's more of his status as a former footballer, more of his legacy. So I think that's what makes him to have the privilege of having that extra privilege actually with his brother. And I think the coronavirus also maybe may have a part to play in it, of thinking, okay, that kind of person can't be in a prison with everything, and where you don't want too much people in one place. I think he's pleading not guilty and saying that he does not know what he did is an offense. So I think at the time the court will decide the final judgment and decide he is guilty or not, I think he deserves to have a little bit of freedom. So that brings about him being a luxurious hotel, a five-star hotel, even people living daily lives and not being charged with anything do not have the opportunity to have that kind of enjoyment. But it's all good. We just wait to see the final judgment they will make before all of us can start crucifying him. We just wait to see. I think he just needs to enjoy freedom, and but it's not all freedom. But when you see that even the world at the moment is not in freedom, I think it's a good thing for him. It's better being in a five-star hotel than being in a prison. So it's all good for him.
Jennifer, we hear about this particular new app being put in place by the English Premier League to be able to identify fans that are very healthy. What do you make of this?
Yeah, so for the new app, I feel it's a welcome development. It's a way to measure who has the virus and who doesn't have the virus, because with the new app, we would be able to scan to know if a fan, or rather anybody at all, has the virus. And once you have the app on your phone, your results will be sent to the app, and before you come into the stadium, you would be assessed to ensure that yes, you are coronavirus free, you are negative, and you can come in, because only healthy people are allowed into the stadium to see the football match. When you are not healthy, or when you are showing a symptom, and even if you don't show symptom whatsoever, you need to actually go for tests and check to confirm. And with the new app, it's a good development, and if it's going to be a measure, if it's going to be a measure to checkmate people who have the virus or not, it's good. I think it's a welcome development. It's only going to ensure that the players are safe, the staff of the club are safe, as well as the fans are safe as well, because when too many fans are put together in one stadium, you wouldn't know who has it and who doesn't have it. So it's very possible that one fan can pass it on to another, and another passing it on to another, and it's going to keep spreading. You can't imagine after this lockdown, and then football resumes, and then we end up getting locked down again. It's ridiculous. It's unheard of. It's uncalled for. So I totally feel the new app. It's a good development. It should not just be adopted by the English Premier League. I think the La Liga should adopt this for their fans. German Bundesliga should adopt it, and also every league, because it's a worldwide pandemic. It's something that has affected everybody. It's something that has affected the world in general. So any measure whatsoever to ensure that fans are safe, to ensure that staff are safe, players are safe, please, let's do this. Let's do it for our lives, please. Health first.
And of course, talking about stars in the world of football now, a lot of stars are picking up the challenge. I mentioned earlier about challenges on social media, the tissue challenge, the don't flip, the pop daddy and all. Well, Cristiano Ronaldo, maybe he has gone on a challenge of his own, but we can confirm that we saw a particular video on social media where his wife, Isabel Rodriguez, was giving him a haircut. That's a view you would like, Jennifer. Come on.
Yeah, so Cristiano Ronaldo allowed his model girlfriend Georgina cut his hair. Interesting, yeah? Yeah, it was interesting. I saw the video and I was like, man, this couple are a vibe, like big vibe. The fact that he could allow his girlfriend cut his hair means a whole lot, because I know she's not a novice. She manages a haircut salon in Madrid, and so her coming out to cut his hair, I don't think it's a big deal for them, or will I say it wouldn't be the first time. It would only be the first time we fans are seeing it, because of course we are in the isolation period, and of course Cristiano Ronaldo doesn't have access to his regular barber, so she had to cut his hair. The hairstyle came out nice. I liked it. It was really nice. I liked it.
Let me come back to you now, Midi. Of course, La Liga prepares for a possible return, and to see the league, the football being played behind closed doors. We're hearing that there's a possible date of return, which is May 28th, and so many news flying around in that mix, Midi.
I think it's almost like the UFC, but maybe not as UFC. Like we all know, for football and all these European leagues, TV broadcasting rights have been sold. Monies are there to be collected. In fact, a chunk of the money has been collected, and they are waiting to collect the rest. So that's why they need to finish these matches. So the La Liga president coming to say matches might come back soon, and it's a welcome development, because we've missed sports, and in the midst of all this pandemic, we know it's probably not fair to be talking about sports and how we want sport to come back, because health is what matters. But at least to know that, okay, they are talking, conversations have been going and about how probably to kickstart the league, and most likely play behind closed doors for the remainder of the fixtures. And it's a nice one to go. We saw the Belgian league. They have cancelled their league. the Belgian league. And then we saw the UEFA president was like, in fact, encouraging other European leagues not to follow suit, not to cancel league, to make sure they find a way in which we can complete the rest of the season. Because, like I said, a lot of teams want to. In fact, if they don't complete the league, it will be the financial implications that would suffer. The league, the clubs will suffer huge financial implications. A lot of them will be in debt because, I mean, financial TV, right? They might have to pay a lot of money, and they might not have to, like, because of, football clubs hardly plan 3 5 years. I mean, it's always the next season, the season after. So people, I mean, I mean, nobody ever thought that this time of thing will happen. So they couldn't, like, known to have prepared that long. So we just have to find a way to finish the league. And like I said, La Liga, there's not been any La Liga competitive match. I mean, not even La Liga. No Spanish side have played since Atletico Madrid played Liverpool in the Champions League. I mean, so that's quite a long time ago. And you could also say in the interview, he refused to mention a date. He refused to say it's a particular date in which the league will start. He just, I mean, probably said August, where it might a lot of end. But we'll see how it goes. We'll see how the development goes. I mean, it's left to see how this pandemic will play out, and then. But it's a good one to know that probably the league might. I mean, in the end, the leagues might have to play behind closed doors. And he also even said that even when they play behind closed doors, they still won't be able to get the full money for the TV right, because of course they're playing without spectators, and they'll probably get half of the money they're supposed to get. But I mean, I'm one of the few people who, or probably a lot of more other people who feel the league should at least be completed.
Well, at this time, Qatar and Russia are debunking any news or accusation, by the United States, saying that they bought rights. They bought the right. They didn't earn it. They bought the right, for the 2018 World Cup in Russia, and of course the 2022 World Cup that was set to hold in Qatar. If I thought that date would still stand, going by how the things are going. Of course, Swimpy, what do you make of this? The United States are pointing fingers and even naming names and calling people about a particular $200 million kind of fraud or scam going on there.
All right, Qatar being accused of a bribery scandal for the hosting right of 2022 World Cup. I don't think it's a new thing in the football world. These things have happened before. Sepp Blatter was also caught in the crossfire for this the last time, and he paid dearly for it. We don't know what really transpired. We can't tell what might happen. But since the U.S. Department of Justice is involved, and FIFA is also carrying out its investigation, all we have to do here is to wait the timeout for the investigations to be done, and then seek for the final results. We don't know what will happen. We don't know what this might be, but I don't think it's a new thing in football. All we just have to hope is that Qatar is in the clear, and then the 2022 World Cup still happens in Qatar, which everybody would love to see anyways, because I would love to see the World Cup being played on the desert soil, and that's what everybody's hoping for. We've actually waited for the cold World Cup, which has happened in Russia, and we're hoping that this in Qatar takes place. It's a new dimension, it's a new thing, but I hope that they're in the clear by the time the investigation is over.
Well, FIFA has also said, we are aligning our calendars, we are aligning contract extensions as well. What that means is that players can also wait to the end of the season, to extend their contracts. Nothing changes, as well as they are doing their best to align and be flexible. Let me put it that way, such that no player or no manager will be aggrieved or hold any grievances towards any of this. Of course, the SKCAS, the Court of Arbitration for Sport, is also very much on maybe temporary recess right now. No cases being heard, and because of the coronavirus, which is really, really doing a lot of damage to everything in its path. Of course, God willing, humanity will recover from all of this. So we go for a quick break. When we return, it's time to hear the gentleman's opinion, and of course the lady's opinion on whether or not the coach of the Super Eagles of Nigeria, Gernot Rohr, should take the new deal. Remember, you can join this conversation. Come on, easy peasy. I do want to send us messages in our comment section. We like to take your comments, of course, at HotSports NG on YouTube, and do want to follow us on Twitter and of course Instagram. We'll be right back from this particular break. All right, so I'll start with you, Swimpy. What do you think? Should Gernot take this particular deal? What do you think?
The new contract states that he would earn money in naira, right? And then he would also stay in the country. I don't know if Gernot should take the deal, but for me, I don't know. The truth is, I can't really tell what is going through his mind with him and his agents and whoever is helping him strike this deal. But Amadou Pinnick coming up with that conditions of him getting paid in naira and then he also living in the country or staying in the West African region. It's a very, very strict contract, but I don't think it's the first time that we're offering that kind of contract to a foreign manager. If you may recall, I think Joe Bumfrey or Clemens Westerhoff was actually offered that kind of deal as well. He lived in the country as well. But I think it would be a very good step in the right direction for him to be here locally.
Okay, thank you, Swimpy. How about you, Eswatini? Okay.
Looking at the terms of the new contract, I don't think Gernot, and I don't think he should collect that contract, because if you want this guy to, you want him to coach your team, fine, you want to set some rules, but there are some terms on that contract that it does not work out. How can you be telling a coach to be going to all local leagues, watch football matches? It is not his job to improve the league. That's why you have scouts. They have to scout the players and tell him. If they've now told him, then he'll go and watch out for himself that maybe this player is good enough. But it is not his job to scout out these players himself. He does not need to start going to leagues and start looking for young talent, looking for home-based talent. If you guys want home-based talent in Super Eagles, get scouts. You don't want him to travel out of the country more than 2 times in a year. Who does that? His family is not in Nigeria. So you have a lot of international coaches. It's a job where you only have a job maybe once in 3 months. A lot of international coaches does not stay. A certain Martinez does not live in Belgium. Even a certain Ryan Giggs. So why does he have to stay in Nigeria because he's coaching a Nigerian team? No, there's no rule that says it. I think Gernot would only accept this contract, and he should only accept it if they can tickle some terms, if they can sit down together and draw this contract out. Let some terms be on his side. You don't want to do this, you will be paying him in naira. All these things come into play, but at the same time you have to look at one aspect and not look at it from the NFF aspect alone.
Guys, I think that at this time, again, Rohr is the only one that can decide what exactly it is that he wants. The contract is right in front of him. I think, if at all, it's going to be for the good of football, for the good of the work he has started. But again, everybody wants to work in a very friendly environment, very professional environment, an environment that encourages and breathes comfort and professionalism. And I think Rohr has been very, very professional in the way he has dealt with the team, the way his results are coming in, the way the players listen to him and they love him. So I think for the sake of football, for the sake of the good of the game of football, so many coaches, yes, are available. But again, you cannot discredit the quality of work that Rohr has done. But the question now is whether or not he will take the deal. So I think it's a very personal thing. But if I was Rohr, I don't think that's a bad deal, actually. I don't think it's entirely very wrong. I think it's something we can still talk about. I mean, that's why it's contract negotiation, right? Right. One thing we want to do, guys, is to first of all thank everyone, for watching. Please remember to stay safe and do well to wash your hands, very, very importantly as well. And at the same time, look out for everyone, around you, and do well to report cases of symptoms to NCDC. We all need to fight and be very, very aware. Shout out to my guys. Shout out to Jennifer for making the debut today. Shout out to Eswatini as well for making it back-to-back, as well as Josh Mide. It's good to see you again. Always a pleasure to have you live. And of course, Tony Sweetby. Guys, what I want to do next week is going to be different if at all we continue with this lockdown. I'm coming to social media. I want to do, guys, on Twitter, men and women, guys and girls who just tweet, who just like, tweeting, but really hasn't had that particular platform on being on probably TV or probably having their voice heard. So we're going to be doing one for strictly Twitter people, strictly tweeps, like they like to call them, or anyone on social media who really want to get their voices out there. Again, thank you so very much for joining us. Babajide Guerrero is my name. I will be here again for another social distancing episode of HotSports next week, Saturday. Till then, take care of yourself and look after each other. Bye for now.